YouTube. So today's video is going to be basically a chit chat video. I asked you guys what were some of the videos that you guys wanted me to produce, and someone asked me a question that I really thought that I would sit down and answer for you guys. And she basically asked what was my campus / community involvement before I joined a sorority. And I had to think about it because I joined my sorority. If you guys didn't know, I joined my sorority the second semester of my sophomore year, and it's been a part of my life ever since. And while I did some things while I was in a sorority, I can't remember what I did before I joined. So I had to really sit down and think about all the stuff that I did before I joined Sigma Gamma Rho. So my freshman year, I lived on a sorority floor. This was long before I even wanted to join a sorority. My housing director put me in a sorority, well, not really a sorority building, but in a building that housed people who were looking to join a sorority. They were basically people who were joining NPC sororities, because back then, if you were looking to join a sorority or if you were participating in Rush, they would put you in housing the week before, and then you would participate in Rush for the first 2 weeks of classes. So now I think you have 2 weeks to do Rush and then you start class, but back then we would start class and participate in Rush at the same time. I don't know why they put me on that floor, but when I was on that floor, I was in our, housing government. So I was a member of housing government. Some people were really into it, and I just did it just so that I could meet people, because it was my first time in college and I didn't really have any friends. Nobody from my high school went to USC the same time that I did, so I was literally there by myself. So I had to make friends some kind of way, and I was into politics at the time, so I said I'll join housing government. So I was a member of housing government. I was also part of this program called the Opportunity Scholars Program, which is an extension of the TRIO program, which I participated in since middle school all through high school, and then it became part of my program when I joined USC. So I was part of TRIO. I was in their mentorship program, so I had a mentor my freshman year, and then by my sophomore year I became a mentor. So I was a part of that organization, and I think that was mostly all the things that I was a part of. I tried to join the international club. Oh no, I had two other organizations. So I tried to join the international club. I couldn't really get into it. I think it was more so people who were international students coming together amongst themselves more than people who were interested in international things. So I tried it for like a month and then I couldn't get into it. I was also part of this program called SEAS, which was basically a program for students who were interested in marine biology, because I loved animals and they didn't have like an animal club, but they had SEAS. So I tried SEAS. I tried SEAS for about 2 months, went on a weekend trip with them, and I really didn't feel like I belonged there, to be honest. So that didn't last very long. It was kind of hard for me to kind of relate to them, even though I tried. It was something that I can say I tried. My sophomore year, I think, made all the difference in me joining an organization, mainly because I was a student front desk assistant for the study abroad program at my college, or at my university. So I spent a lot of time around international students. I absolutely loved it. I worked with exchange students all day long, and that kind of inspired me to help with their study abroad ambassadors program. So I assisted with that. You had to technically have studied abroad in order to be a member, but I became a member shortly after I studied abroad, but I was always there because I worked in the office, so I assisted with a lot. So I got to go to their fairs, I went to all the meetings, talked to international students, saw hot guys. It was probably the best organization I ever joined. I was also part of the Gamecock Connection, which was basically an organization that assisted the admissions office in pretty much anything involving events around USC. So if we had people come in for college day, or if we had people come in for campus tours, we would assist with that. And I really loved that because I loved talking about my campus. I knew everything there was to know about my campus just based off of me telling exchange students what we offer working at the study abroad office. So I would have to study each department and tell them about each department. So it helped when I joined Gamecock Connection, because I was able to tell people all the resources that we had at USC even though I wasn't working for the admissions office, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed interacting with people, walking people around campus, showing them little hidden gems around the school. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I think those were all the organizations that I joined sophomore year. I tried to be a peer leader, but I realized that it was too time consuming for me. So I wasn't really interested in joining that organization. After I joined my sorority, I still remained a part of the organizations that I was a part of, because I don't think that it's really a good idea to just drop everything just because you've joined an organization that's more elite, so to speak. The Greek system is kind of on a pillar at my school, where if you're Greek, you're held to a higher standard academically, socially, and all other things. But I didn't see it really a good idea to quit everything that I was doing just because I was part of an organization. And I'd gotten in really good with the clubs and organizations that I was already in, that I didn't want to leave them because I had joined a sorority. So I still remained a part of the Gamecock Connection, and it worked out really well because I was able to do my chapter meetings and go to my other meetings, be it weekly or bi-weekly, without a problem. So there was no reason for me to quit those organizations. So I really enjoyed that. In the community, I don't think that I was part of anything in the community at Downtown USC. I'm a part of a community in my personal life, like I go to church and I'm on the choir, but with sorority or with school related communities, I wasn't really a part of a community. I basically just did my own thing when I wasn't at school, which was attend church and go to choir practice, and I think that's pretty much all the stuff that I did. A lot of my community service just came from me doing volunteer stuff that I wanted to do. Like if I wanted to give a tour around campus with international students, I did it because I wanted to. I didn't really do it to get anything from it. Or if I helped with tutoring, I did it because someone needed my help. I wasn't doing it just to get hours or to say that I did community service. But those are basically the things that I did prior to me joining a sorority. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend that if you're interested in joining a sorority, that you already have an organization that you're a part of, or community service hours already on your plate, because you don't want to wait till the last minute to do those things, because they're going to see that and be like, you're a last minute person and you just did it just to make it look good on your resume. So if you see something that you're interested in any time before you join a sorority, go ahead and take part of it, because for one, it's going to build your leadership skills and build your experience with working in other organizations, and two, it looks good on your resume anyways. So I would highly recommend doing something before you join a sorority to teach you about being in an organization and to add it to your resume, in my opinion. But if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have more questions related to things that I did before I joined my sorority, or any questions that you might have for me with joining my sorority, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next chit chat.